The identity of the agents responsible for the unaliving of Alex Pretti was released. And when their identity was released, the whole vibe changed. It went from Alex Pretti being a labeled a domestic terrorist to, wait a minute, it was Mexicans that did this? Hold on now, we need to do a proper investigation. So now, a day after they released the identity of the agents responsible, Alex Pretti's unaliving has been ruled a homicide. You see, you're a coconut, brown on the outside and white on the inside. You look in the mirror and you thought you was Christopher and Tom. No. You're Raimundo and Jesus. And the oppressor is finna remind you of who you are. You're not one of them.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Christine and thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are going to talk about the identity of the two ICE agents who unalived Alex Pretti and the reaction of the black folks and the Latinos about the situation. So people have been giving their thoughts on the internet about those two ICE agents, asking what if they were white men, could their identity be exposed? So let's get to the rest of the videos and I will be right back.
All right, I'll be the one that says it because it is uncomfortable. Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez? Imagine with names like those and y'all thought you were on the same side? Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez. You think your coworkers don't feel the exact same way about you as they do the others? You think they wouldn't terrorize you and your families the way you're terrorizing your own communities? Because make no mistake, no one ends up with a name like that if they aren't at least partially from the community. You think you're special to these people. Did they tell you that? You think you can make them forget who or what you are to them? Of course you were put on leave. Of course your names were leaked to the press. Mind you, Jonathan Ross was only identified by some clever investigative work by some journalists who were matching up certain details. But you guys, no. Official government documents leaked to the press. If only your names had been something like Michael Schmidt or Jeffrey Miller. But you know that, right? Jesse and Ray. I think this is worth remembering for all of the other Jesuses and Raimundos right now. No matter how hard you try to bury your roots, you will always be Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez. Useful to them until you're not. And as soon as it becomes more useful, they will toss you to the wolves. Happily. Now, I understand that some people may take issue with me being the one to deliver this message because while I am Hispanic, I'm not Latina. And I understand that. But here's the thing. I am, in fact, 100% an immigrant. And yet, I recognize that aside from possibly my very public political platform, I have the privilege of knowing that you, as two boys born and raised in this country, will most likely be targeted well before I am. And I think deep down, you know that. One thing that I, even as an immigrant to this country, know, it's that I would never do to anyone what you're doing. I am secure enough in my place in this world to know that I could never. And I'm pretty sure that the problem here is that you are not. You do not feel secure in your place. And you are trying your hardest to convince these people that you're actually a good little hombre. And you know deep down that as soon as they run out of people they can convince you to go after for them, they're coming after you too. Trust. If you are gonna help these people who do not care about you to get to that point, remember this one, because there will be no one left to care when it happens to you.
Okay, so we now have identified the two ICE officers who shot and murdered Alex Pretti. And up till now, I've been saying that there's no way those ICE officers are going to get convicted. There's no way. They're going to get off scot-free like they always do. Until I just found out what their names were. Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez.
Yeah, they're getting convicted. They're getting convicted hard.
What is it about Texas that makes first, second, third, or older generation Latinos there hate themselves and their people as much as they do? This is not an idle question. It's the sort of thing that I have often known and wondered about for a very long time. Because by this point in time, Texas would already have become a blue state if the Latinos who are there, who are part of those groups, had begun to recognize the white supremacist institutions that are keeping Latinos there down and begin to vote against Republicans. So that people like Lying Ted, a man who fucking runs to a warmer climate as soon as there is any sort of news about a potential storm hitting Texas, would no longer be representing that state. And it's also not an idle question because it's very much related to this moment right now, as in this very moment. Because according to this article from ProPublica, we have identified the two men that killed Alex Pretti. And they both are Latinos. They're both from Texas. As you can see the names here, Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez. And in the case of Jesus, he actually goes by Jesse. Okay, this is how much this man dislikes and hates his Latino blood. He refuses to go by his normal name and pick something that is much wider sounding, Jesse. Now, I don't know about Raimundo. I don't know if he also changes his name to a different thing, but I'm willing to bet you anything you want that Raimundo goes by Ray, because it's also wider. So these two men signed up in 2014 and 2018. So they have been part of this racist organization much longer than this moment right now. The fact that they were happy to go to this place and inflict the sort of violence that is being inflicted in Minneapolis tells me how committed they are to this cause and how much they hate their own people. I suspect that some of this is related to schooling in Texas. I suspect that it's internalized racism that they have taught them from a very young age that Latinos are less than white people there. And as a result, they took that hate and they turned it outward towards damaging brown people. But there is something just so fucking corrupt about Texas that makes Latinos be like this. And it's fucking gross. It's fucking gross. And if you live in Texas and you're a Latino, if you're a actual zero generation, first generation, please make sure that your children do not grow up to believe this fucking nonsense so that they do not become oppressors within our own culture, against our own culture.
So the two ICE agents who unalived Alex Pretti about a week or so ago in Minneapolis, Minnesota, outside the donut shop, names have been revealed. And isn't it ironic that they're both, I believe, are Latino? And it's like people try to do everything they could to protect these individuals' names, you know, and the government especially. But we do know that for a long time, the government has always protected its own. But why couldn't they protect these right here? Because people wanted to, people wanted answers. People wanted to know what the hell was going on. Trying to protect these agents and their identities, man. You know what this tells me, guys? This tells me that during the ongoing investigation of Alex Pretty's untimely unaliving by those federal ICE agents, they must have found something wrong. They had to have found some evidence showing that that man was, you know what, the M word. His life was taken. Because why would they release the names of the agents? They do everything in their power to protect those ICE agents' identities, especially because of everything that happened with Renee Good and a few other people who was unalived by ICE agents right here in the U.S. But now they released their names and their photos, which tells me that charges could be possibly brought against these two individuals, man. So I'm glad that they are releasing the names because people need to know. You should not be covering up for these people who is out here committing heinous crimes on the streets of America, especially against our innocent people, man. Border Patrol people should be on the border, patrolling the border, not in our cities, acting like that they're police officers in uniform, because they're not police officers, man. They need to get ICE the hell out of here. Now that these men have been identified, it lets me know even more that charges is going to be brought against these two people. The American people need to see justice be served, man. So I say this is a good start in the right direction. You guys comment in the comment section and let me know what you think of this. What type of punishment should you think that these two criminals should face? Do you think that they will be convicted? And what do you, and basically, do you guys think that the government is going to pursue charges or try to sweep it under the carpet like they do everything else? Thanks for watching.
So Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez, those are two ICE agents that shot Alex. I wonder, were they the original ones in the "I will vote for Donald Trump"? Or was it the $50,000 signing bonus that got them? What they should have did was talk to the Afghans before they signed up for that job. Because the Afghans can tell you about working for the United States government and how the United States turn on you. Bend over, no Vaseline. So they got to defend you because they don't want to disincentivize the rest of the ICE agents who won't work for them if they're not going to be protected. Don't get it twisted. You ain't special. Now you without a home because you can't go back amongst your people. And the cartel then put your names on the top of the list. Not because of the Blancos or the Gringos, but because when they look up sellout in the book, y'all two faces in it. Don't drop the soap.
Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez, two names to remember. The two federal immigration agents who fired on Minneapolis protester Alex Pretti are identified in government records as Border Patrol agent Jesus Ochoa and Customs and Border Protection officer Raimundo Gutierrez. The fact that both of them are Hispanic is crazy work, and when we get more updates or information about them, I'll let you know. But yeah, a little birdie told me you need to know those names.
Welcome back. I think those two ICE agents thought that their identities could not be exposed, but that was not the case, and for what they did, that was wrong, and they should also face the consequences because they've always wanted to associate themselves with whiteness. They want to enjoy the privileges and the rights of the white people, forgetting about themselves. They made their choices thinking that they will be favored, but that did not happen. And for the black community, they are just watching this like a movie because they know how it will end. So let me know what you think about this episode down in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.